Welcome back. All right, everyone, let's take a moment to inspect our grass here and our earth. If your image is looking like mine, then congratulations. If not, go ahead and take a few more minutes to clean up those roots as we discussed at the end of our previous lesson. If you're good to go, I'm going to go ahead and dive in to what we're going to do in this lesson. We're going to continue cleaning up and refining our earth element. The first thing I want to do is create a mask for just the grass. So if we click on our merged earth here, we'll grab our wand. I'm going to go 11 by 11 and 12 for the tolerance and see how that serves me. Quite well. One click and I'm pretty much set and ready to go. You can option click the grass here to give it an idea of what you don't want, and then shift click okay. All right, pretty good. So I'm gonna grab the lasso and make sure that I grab anything extra. All right, great. Now just we're going to create kind of a dummy layer real quick, just a curve so you have that mask. Let's apply our layer mask, if you have one, on your earth. We'll do that as well for the roots. Now we're going to select these. I'm just Command and Command Shift clicking these layers. And now with Command Option held down, go ahead and click on this, and that's going to basically give you everything but that grouping, right? So we have just the grass selected. It looks like I caught a little something extra there. Now let's create a colorize layer. This is going to be for the grass, but it's also going to create a mask for us that we're going to preserve and save, and we'll use this a bunch. Colorize, we don't need to clip it. Set this to color, 100% is good. Now, what I would recommend you do is zoom in and find a pleasing color of the grass that you like. You know, something deeper, I guess, would probably be my preference. With your brush selected, you can option click in here to get your color. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill this. Actually, before we do that, don't fill it just yet. Put the mask on here. That way you have your grass mask. We can go in and black out anything that shouldn't be there. Okay. And at any point we can refine this. It would be best to do it now before we're going any further. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill this with green. Okay. So now we get rid of any of that you know, ugly dead grass. And what I want to do is use this mask again. We'll command click it and create a levels adjustment layer. And I want to just build up a bunch of contrast in the grass. Give it some nice depth. We can do a curve as well Use that mask again, just to really make the grass look nice and crisp and wonderful. It's a little surreal, but that's fine. Grass doesn't levitate. All right, and you know, if you feel like it, you can tinker around with your colorized layer. You can lower the opacity on that just to let a little more variation through. It's entirely up to your own discretion. I think I'm going to go 65%. Feels good to me. The mask is looking pretty good. Now we're going to jump straight into the rest of this floating earth element. So what we can do is create another selection from the merged earth, and we'll click the roots. We'll get all of that, and then Command Option on this grass mask, and that'll give us everything but the grass. Let's go ahead and throw levels on here. Levels adjustment. You know, kind of make this a little more rich. Fill it out some. I'm going to do a new layer. Call it darken. Darken soil. And multiply for our blend mode. Accept that. I'm going to use black and a 10% opacity on my brush. Hardness at 0. And with a really soft, large brush, I just want to darken the bottom of these roots. It would help if I use that mask, right? Okay, here we go. We're just going to darken this because it's going to, you know, it should be darker under there. If light's coming from up on top, then you could assume that if this is sticking out further, it's going to cast a bit of shadow. Go ahead and toy around with your opacity. I'm going to go down to 5% so that I can add some more shadow and depth into some of these higher up areas. It'll make them appear like they're set in a little bit, and that we have areas that are sunk in and sticking out more. And subtlety is key, you know, it's usually the case. So that made a big difference, in my opinion. I think that helps a great deal. And if you go too far with this, you know, we have our mask preserved on the levels, so feel free to paint out on your layer mask anywhere that, you know, you find unappealing. All right, I think we're at a good place with our earth elements here. I'm going to go ahead and save this out, and we will continue on in the next lesson.